Hey folks, this is Kalani. The dev team are trying something new as we head into Season 4 of Dragonflight. We know that Season 4 is going to be a bit of a remix of our adventures so far, so we'll likely see all 3 Dragonflight raids return with some new affixes or abilities, and if they stick to the same formula as the Shadowlands Fated season, the raids will probably be on a rotation. I'm sure we'll get more solid information about the season over the next couple of months, but the dev team are trying to get ahead of one specific feature of any typical season, the tier set bonuses. It looks like we're going to be able to choose which tier set bonuses we'll get to play with again, and what our Season 4 tier sets are going to look like through a series of new community polls. This could have some very interesting implications for how your class plays in the final season of Dragonflight, so let's go over how you can vote for your classes and how long you have to cast your vote. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. Let's start with what we're voting on, because we haven't really been given the chance to vote on many design directions or decisions in World of Warcraft. Season 4 of Dragonflight is going to be very different when compared to the other seasons we've seen so far. It will probably be shorter, we won't have a new raid, and most of the content will be recycled from previous seasons. There might also be new or different gearing paths and options. For example, we had an actual gear vendor back in Shadowlands that let you directly purchase almost any item from any of the 3 raids. The number of pieces you could buy was limited, but you could still buy your best in slot items if RNG was against you. It seems like in Dragonflight Season 4 those trends will continue and we'll have a recycled tier set, but instead of the dev team choosing which tier set we'll have access to, or giving us access to all 3 previous Dragonflight tier sets all at once, we're going to vote on which tier set we would like to use in the last season of this expansion. So that's kind of interesting. You can vote for the bonuses that changed your class and spec in the ways you enjoyed most, or maybe just go for the ones which made your class or spec the most powerful. But it actually goes a bit further than that. The tier set is being separated out into its visual style as well as for each spec of your class. All of those pieces are being voted on individually. That means if you really don't want the Season 2 Beast Mastery tier set bonus, but all of the marksmanship hunters are voting for the Season 2 bonus, you're not automatically stuck with that as Beast Mastery just because it's your Hunter tier set. You get to vote for your own preferred bonus. So the Hunters could end up with a Season 4 tier set that has the Season 1 bonus for Survival, the Season 2 bonus for Marksmanship, the Season 3 bonus for Beast Mastery, and then everyone as a class collective is going to vote on which season's tier style or visuals they liked the best. So you could end up with all of those varied bonuses with any of the seasonal visual styles. Now on that point, I do hope that it's mainly the style being brought forward and we get some recolors at the very least, but all of that information makes these polls very important for how your class is going to play for the last leg of Dragonflight. So, what do you need to do? I'll give you a link in the comment section over to this blue post which gives you a full list of links to vote for each class and spec. Be sure to vote for any class, tier set look or specialization bonus that you want to see make it back into the game. As a quick note, the blue post does mention that tier set bonuses should receive additional tuning to ensure that each set bonus should provide the same sort of power boost, because let's be honest, a lot of folks are probably going to vote for the tier set bonus that provided the best throughput upgrade for its own season. But that might not be the best way to look at it. Instead, ponder which bonus changed your class and spec in a way that made things more fun. Now, each poll only provides you with an option for Season 1, 2 or 3 without providing any real information about what those seasons actually reference, so if you need a refresher of what each of your seasonal tier sets looked like or what each bonus actually did, you can very easily check all of that in-game. In the Appearance tab of your collections, click on Sets at the top left, and then you can see what each option looks like as a complete set. For Season 1, you're going to be looking for the Vault of the Incarnates raid set. Each set will tell you where it comes from the smaller white text just underneath the actual set name. Season 2 comes from Aberrus, the Shadowed Crucible, and then Season 3 obviously comes from the Amir Drasul raid, and that's the set that we are currently working with. I would recommend you swap the raid difficulty to see how the different colours for each set look, and remember that most of the time the mythic sets will have additional effects that will hopefully be brought forward for whichever set wins the vote. For the 2 set and 4 set bonuses for each season, just shift-click the headpiece from the set window into chat, hit enter and click on the item link. It should pop up in your tooltip along with the 2 set and 4 set bonuses for that season, so it's all very easy to look up in-game, and then you can compare and contrast to see which bonuses you would like to use again. Now personally, I remember the Season 1 tier sets being quite simple across the board due to the crazy number of class changes that we had to get used to heading into the first season of Dragonflight, so if you look them over and think Season 1 might be a bit bland or boring, that's probably why. I'll be weighing up the Season 2 and Season 3 options for the most part for classes that I play, and going with the one which interacts with the talents that I enjoy playing with the most. Season 2 and 3 set bonuses usually empower certain passives or talent interactions to the point where they are almost required to play optimally, so that's definitely something you should consider when you're casting your votes. If you don't like Dire Beasts as a Beast Mastery Hunter, the Season 3 tier set bonus probably won't be your preferred choice. Now, all of these polls are only open for the next 7 days, so you don't have too long to make sure your vote is counted. I definitely think it's interesting to allow the community to vote on how the tier sets are implemented for Season 4. We get to ensure that the favourite looks and bonuses are brought forward and made relevant once again, and then for the folks who didn't get to play with those bonuses back in the previous seasons, they have a chance to see how it all works. Now I guess there is also the argument that they could have just enabled all 3 tier sets at the higher item levels for the season and let us pick and choose which ones we want to run with, but that could arguably make it harder to actually acquire your full 4 set bonus for each set, and you might end up with a handful of pieces from each set instead of being able to trigger your set bonuses quickly like most folks would want to, and that would also be a whole lot more work to try and balance. It's worth noting that for the fated season of Shadowlands, we didn't actually have any choice whatsoever. We were only able to get the Season 3 tier sets and bonuses in Season 4, which meant we were running with the exact same thing we had just and so had, which wasn't all too exciting, so at least this time we get to vote on which effects we would like to use for the rest of the expansion. Either way, I'm curious to see how these polls play out, and it's fun when we get some direct input for how the game is going to progress and how our classes will play in a season. I'm also looking forward to seeing what else is going to change as we head into Season 4, because ever since the fated season in Shadowlands, I've thought that this is the time to go crazy. Try some weird stuff and change it up, see what works. It's the end of the expansion, and everything is getting reset anyway when the next expansion rolls around, so it's the perfect time to let everyone just have fun. But what do you think of the Season 4 tier set appearances and bonuses being put up for a community vote? Is it good to give us control over the direction of some parts of the game, or is this just going to start some arguments over which bonuses each spec should vote for? Which tier set bonuses and appearances are you going to vote for yourself? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members here on YouTube. You can see the names floating by on screen. If you'd like to add your name to the end of every video with a special shout out at the start of the next video, you can find links in the description over to Patreon or click the join button just below this video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.